film I chose for this excruciating yet amazing project is Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. The reason I love this film is because the timeline is all discombobulated, so you really have to think. So for example, this is the opening credits, which don't actually happen at the beginning of the film. The film actually begins with Joel Barrett, the main character, waking up and heading to work, but instead of going to work, he skips it and decides to go to Montauk Beach, which is very much unlike him, a very impulsive thing to do. And he keeps randomly bumping into this girl with an orange sweatshirt. Everywhere he goes, he just keeps seeing her, until eventually she just...
My name's Clementine, by the way.
I'm Joel.
Hi, Joel. No jokes about my name.
I don't know any jokes about your name.
Huckleberry Hound.
I don't know what that means.
Huckleberry Hound? What, are you nuts?
It's been suggested.
Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling, Clementine. You were less than gone forever. Dreadful sorry, Clementine. No?
I'm sorry.
What is it? I don't know. It's
So this place that does this thing is called Lacuna Incorporated. And Joel decides to go to this place and do this thing too, so he gathers up a whole bunch of every artifact, photograph, memento, bit of memorabilia that could possibly remind him of Clementine. Drawings, gifts, everything. He puts them in a bag, loads them up so he can begin his new life. I like the art in the movie too. There's some interesting sketches that he has done. I love how he's got his baggage and he's going to begin his new life. And it's foreboding because he almost gets killed.
My name is Joel Barish, and I'm here to erase Clementine.
So they start to explain the procedure to him. They say it's like a dream upon awakening. He has some concerns.
Brain damage?
Well, technically speaking, the procedure is brain damage, but it's on a par with a night of heavy drinking.
So a heavy night of
Nothing
drinking and
impossible.
things that you wish you hadn't seen remind me of this. But I'm just kidding. Of course, I would never erase the S106 TV from my memory. So this is the machine that they use to map his brains so they can do the deletions. And I like the idea, because if you think about it, your brain is just a connection of neurons firing, you know, and they say that you have like this schema, these connections between objects and memories and sensory things. I don't know if it's a specific dot, but I love the ludicrous objects. Like, and look at the sadness of the Mr. Potato Head. These are real potato things. And this is when we start to realize that he's actually undergoing the procedure right now. And he's asleep. And he's got this really silly metal with all these cables, and then there's these kind of buffoony guys in his home during this procedure. And then he's going back through his memory, and she's being erased. And we're going to move backwards. And you'll notice that you can use her hair as a pinpoint of what time frame we're in. So this is the last time he ever saw her. This is their big fight. She came home drunk. They're kind of full of contempt for each other. It's the end of the relationship. He's grossed out, angry at her. He says some things that are pretty cruel. And you notice her hair is sort of like this faded orange with the roots really grown out. He goes to follow her because he said some cool stuff, and she's gone. And we're on to another memory. And it's just sort of the mundaneness.
Bored couples you feel sorry for in restaurants? Are we the dining dead? I can't stand the idea of us being a couple people think that about.
Now here's when she first did her hair, this tangerine color, the orange, which perfectly matched her sweatshirt. So this is sort of like the transition into the comfortable phase of the relationship, which began as this fiery red passion. So here's a beautiful scene, I think.
When I was a
I
kid,
just think it's so lovely, the lighting, the soft gauze effect on her. And he wants to keep this memory. He liked that memory. It was a good one. It was a really lovely time. There's another nice memory. Very vibrant colors. Look at the color of her hair.
I've never felt that before.
But this too, even though it's a good memory, is going to be taken away. And then he starts to think, there's the artifact that is linked to that memory. And then he starts to think maybe he doesn't want to go through with this procedure. But unfortunately, the people who are in charge of his procedure are not exactly professionals.
Clem, they're erasing you.
And so this is when his dream or his memory, his erasure starts to become lucid, and she doesn't follow the script of the memory. She starts to behave as if Clementine would, given the circumstance. So now he's becoming self-aware of the situation. And they can actually start talking about things, and she's responding in a way that Clementine would respond, even though he's in this dreamlike state, and she's just a figment of his imagination.
The eraser guys are coming here, so
And this is when she comes up with this brilliant idea,
somewhere where I
ultimately he
don't
does,
belong.
to go back into his childhood. And I just love this bike. I had that bike, banana seat. And I like how she responds to the clothing. I mean, she's still just a portion of his dream, and she's responding to the dress as she would if she were really there.
Mrs. Hamlin.
And so he's about 4 years old, and she's a neighbor, and he's just sort of plopped her into that character. And now he's taken an artifact of her as a child and dropped her into his memory of a child. So a bad, humiliating memory she's now rescued him from, making a new connection. And now she's also being bathed by his mother in the sink.
I've never seen you happier, baby.
But the big guns have been called in, the professional, the guy in charge, the doctor, and he has located that memory on the map.
What the heck was he doing there?
And this brings us to the first time they really did
So
meet.
no jokes about my name.
You know, she has green hair, so sort of a new beginning, fresh.
Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling,
And
Clementine.
of course, he does know.
Huckleberry Hound, that sort of thing.
He does know.
Yeah,
No,
like that.
no jokes, no jokes. One of my favorite things when I was a kid was my Huckleberry Hound doll.
But it shifts between being a memory
I think your name is
and her
magical.
being lucid.
This is it, Jules. It's gonna be gone soon. What do we do?
Enjoy it. It's a very zen notion. You know, whether in dream, life, relationships, work, anything. You know, just enjoy it as it is, for the worst. Better or worse. And you can't erase these things because you can't, if you don't remember them, you can't learn from them. So this is the last scene that he goes. So at the end, you notice there's this common sand motif over and over again. And this is when you realize that the opening scene obviously was after the erasure, and that's why he didn't know.
I saw you talking to so many pretty.
But all this sand is probably giving the impulse, and also that made me
She was
scene.
just a girl.
cause him to go back and remake Clementine. And that's it, the deletion is done.
How happy is the blameless vessel's lot? The world forgetting by the world forgot. Eternal sunshine of a spotless mind. Each prayer accepted, and each wish resigned.
Like that.
Clem! Clementine!
Blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders.